There's a moment every gardener knows too well. You walk out to your beds in the afternoon sun, only to find leaves drooping, stems sagging, and flowers looking exhausted. No matter how much you water from above, the soil seems to lose moisture faster than you can replenish it, and the plants start to struggle. For the first minute, just picture that frustration. Plants wilting despite regular watering, the sun beating down, and you wondering if there's anything you can do to save them. That's when I stumbled onto the moisture pocket method, a simple but transformative trick that doesn't require fancy irrigation or expensive equipment. It's all about working with the soil's natural properties to trap water where your plants need it most, turning wilting beds back into thriving ones. The reason moisture pockets work so well is that they create a hidden reservoir right at the plant's roots. Plants don't benefit from water sitting on the surface. They need it where roots can absorb it. Traditional watering often leaves the top layer of soil wet while deeper layers remain dry, forcing roots to stretch in search of moisture and leaving the plant stressed. By creating a small depression or pocket around each plant filled with water-retentive amendments like compost, mulch, or biochar, you effectively give the roots a direct, consistent supply of hydration. Water collects in the pocket, slowly percolates downward and spreads outward, keeping the root zone moist for hours or even days without repeated watering. This principle is simple, but when applied consistently, it turns struggling beds into resilient, well-hydrated ones. How I first applied the moisture pocket method to revive wilting plants illustrates its practicality. I started with my tomato and pepper beds, which were suffering under a sudden heat wave. Around each plant, I used a small trowel to form a shallow basin, roughly 4 inches deep and wide enough to encircle the root zone. I mixed the soil at the bottom with a handful of organic matter and a layer of fine mulch, then filled the pocket with water. Within an hour, I could already see the leaves lifting as the roots absorbed the hydration. By evening, the plants were visibly perkier. It's a method that requires minimal effort but pays dividends in plant health and vigour. The science behind why moisture pockets are so effective is rooted in soil physics and plant biology. Soil has varying pore sizes, with larger pores draining quickly and smaller ones holding water longer. By adding compost or other organic matter into the pocket, you increase the proportion of fine pores capable of retaining moisture. Mulch on top reduces evaporation from the surface, while the depression itself prevents water from running off. Essentially, you're creating a micro-reservoir, where water is concentrated directly at the root zone, which reduces plant stress and increases nutrient uptake. It's a method that mirrors natural processes. Think of how rain collects in slight depressions along forest floors, nourishing the plants most efficiently. A practical way to integrate the moisture pocket method into any garden or raised bed is to combine it with routine planting techniques. Whenever you transplant seedlings, dig a small basin slightly larger than the root ball, mix in compost and water it thoroughly. For larger established plants, simply excavate a shallow area around the base, loosen the soil, incorporate amendments and fill it with water. You can even expand this into a grid system for row crops by creating overlapping moisture pockets that ensure the entire bed stays hydrated. The method works for vegetables, flowers, and even container gardens, just adjusting the size of the pocket to match root depth and container size. Another way to enhance the method is by pairing it with water-retentive soil additives. Biochar, coconut coir or clay pellets can hold several times their weight in water and slowly release it to roots. Mixing a handful of these into the bottom of each pocket improves the efficiency of your watering and reduces the frequency needed. You can also top the pockets with a thin layer of mulch to minimize evaporation, protect roots from heat, and reduce soil compaction. These small adjustments dramatically increase the resilience of your plants during heat waves or periods of inconsistent rainfall. The real value of the moisture pocket method is its simplicity and adaptability. You don't need pumps, hoses, or high-tech irrigation systems to keep plants hydrated. You're working with the soil's natural capacity to retain water, directing it where it matters most. For gardeners facing drought, wilting beds, or uneven soil, it's a solution that can be implemented immediately and scaled to any size. Once you understand the concept, it becomes second nature. Each plant gets precisely the hydration it needs without waste, ensuring healthy growth and maximum productivity. If this guide gave you a practical solution for keeping your beds thriving, make sure you subscribe to HydroHaven and share this video with fellow gardeners. The moisture pocket method is simple, timeless, and one of the most effective ways to transform struggling plants into vibrant, flourishing beds.